Hi everyone, hope everyone is staying safe and sane at home. My name is Pinhong, a rising junior at Barnard College of Columbia University. I am an economics major and a pre-med. It is my honor to be here virtually as a presenter at the Voice Foundation. So without further ado, let's have a fun time together. The topic I'm presenting today is the influence of voice training on vocal learners' supraglottal activities, objective acoustic evaluations, and aerodynamic evaluation. So according to our literature review, there is an inconsistency in the outcomes and some inconclusive attributes about how singing training may impact the speech voices of the voice learners. Over the course of voice training, some researchers found jitter, shimmer, and pitch range increased, while the others did not find the same. Some researchers found DSI had no change after the voice training, while others found DSI in some cases had negative changes. We also noticed a technique called nonlinear dynamic measures. It can analyze voice signals that are too chaotic for linear measurements. So common nonlinear dynamic parameters include nonlinear energy difference ratio, NEDR, and spectrum convergence ratio, SCR. NEDR is designed to characterize the time-varying features of non-stationary signals. NEDR quantifies the spectral energy variation of periodicity from type 1, strong periodicity, to type 3 and 4, strong aperiodicity. The SCR parameter analyzes signal with high dimensional chaos turbulence. In general, SCR is the highest in type 1 voice and decreases as voice type increases. So to bridge the knowledge gaps and to incorporate the technique that I just mentioned, we designed the study and came up with the following hypothesis. Voice training would induce glottal configuration changes that improve singers' speech voices and aerodynamics. So originally, 23 students aged between 12 to 15 were enrolled from Xiamen Music School. However, only 18 of them completed all examinations and thus were included in the final data analysis. These students had no previous voice training experiences before they enrolled the school. The training they received was SLVT exercises, and all students were confirmed to be without organic voice disorders by laryngologists. Their examinations were performed every 6 months for 18 months in total, which were marked as time 1, 2, and 3. So for the parameters we chose for strobolaryngoscopy, we had mainly AP compression and end-lobe compression. They were selected because supraglottic activities can reflect glottic functions. They are considered as compensatory activities of glottic insufficiency, which is related to the increase of laryngeal muscle tension and production of sound under pathological conditions. As for acoustic objective evaluation, DSI and D value of vocal range mainly were included and analyzed. Specifically, DSI is clinically used as the standard gold for objective assessments of dysphonia, with values ranging from -5 to +5. Generally, the higher the DSI value is, the better the vocal function is. And D value of vocal range indicated the range of vocal abilities from the lowest to the highest, which is mainly affected by fundamental frequency and vocal intensity. For laryngeal aerodynamic assessments, NPT and PTF mainly were included. MPT is usually affected by vital capacity, and there are differences in genders, ages, and figures. So for all the measurements that were performed, we conducted them through double-blind trials. The averages of data collected by 2 laryngologists were calculated along the measurements of reliability. One-way ANOVA was performed for our statistical analysis. Nonlinear dynamic measures were also performed at Dr. Jiang's lab at the University of Wisconsin-Madison. And one thing to add here, the one-way ANOVA was performed along with the correlation analysis between supraglottal activities and objective acoustic evaluation, and between supraglottal activities and aerodynamic parameters. So for the results from strobolaryngoscopy, we notice a decreasing trend of AP scores over time with statistical significance. However, the changes of ML compression had no statistical significance. And a note to add here, the data we included and analyzed were from 16 out of 18 subjects, because of the rest 2 had some missing data in strobolaryngoscopy. But for the other analysis, all subjects' data were included. For acoustic objective evaluations result, the DSI and D value of vocal range both increased with statistical significance. For laryngeal aerodynamic assessments, MPT showed an increasing tendency with statistical significance. As for the PTF, it decreased over time, but without statistical significance. And according to our results in nonlinear dynamic measurements, the proportion of VTC1 generally decreased, while VTC3 increased. And that means the aperiodicity in voices of the subjects increased. And some laryngologists might regard this as a signal of worsened quality of subjects' voices. And that is contradictory to the results of linear measurements that we just mentioned. And we will address that in our discussion. So, first thing first in our discussion, we already observed the improvement of supraglottal compression, DSI, D value of vocal range, and MPT. So we rationalize that by connecting them with SOVT exercises. To be more specific, delay impedance can be increased through SOVT exercises via lengthening the vocal tract and reducing its cross-sectional area. The greater negative pressure on the glottis formed in delay the closed phase can promote vocal fold expansion at the end. In the open phase, the positive pressure on the glottis promotes vocal fold adduction, and this kind of push-pull relationship aids vocal fold vibration, improving the vocal efficiency and average airflow rate. So as stated, we performed 2 correlation analyses, but none of them exhibit statistical significance. We considered that the improvement of MPT was mainly related to the improvement of vital capacity. So this might explain why the value of MPT itself improved statistical significantly, but the correlation between itself and AP compression did not. We also considered that mainly acoustic parameters had many influencing factors. So there was no strong and thus significant correlation between acoustic parameters and AP compression. So for the contradiction between the results of nonlinear dynamic measures and the linear measures that we mentioned, we we are still working on that, honestly. But our idea right now is that it is because our difference in understanding of beauty standard of voices, quote unquote. So for example, vibrato. For singing coaches, vibrato might be a beautiful skill to be applied in singing. However, for some laryngologists, vibrato is a cause for increase in aperiodicity, which is regarded as a worsened signal for voice quality. So our differences in the recognition of beauty standard might cause some deviation in voice training that result in this contradiction. So conclusion, this study found that after 18 months of voice training, the students' supraglottal compression improved significantly. The value of MPT and DSI increased. It showed that the professional voice training can relieve the condition of supraglottal activities, DSI, D-value of vocal range, and improve MPT and PTF. These parameters have the potential to be used for voice training evaluation and screening. In addition, it is important to target the supraglottal compression when training the new students. So above is my presentation today, but before I end, please allow me to share with you the haiku, a Japanese form of poem that Pinhong, taking orgo final, was stuck at home, wrote several days before. Winter in May eliminates my road to school via 1 or 2. I'm not sure if it is a good poem, but I do know it is a good time for me, especially to refresh my memory of elimination reaction from organic chemistry as alluded in this poem. And I also do know COVID-19 is the winter in May. It's the winter we're experiencing right now. It is a very hard time for all of us. And I sincerely hope everyone, again, is staying safe. My families and I will pray for all of us. So please stay healthy and stay calm. Thank you for watching this video and have a nice day.